octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports.
Welcome to Woodward Wings. I am Justin Satawa. I am joined by the one, the only, Sean Baligian. He is here to keep the celebrity in check. Oh, my God. Okay?
Yep, good.
Sorry.
I
Spenny
love
is
him.
just stumbling over these trade rumors that we've been having over the last few days. So we're here to give you an in-depth breakdown of what we think is going on in the Quinn Hughes sweepstakes. First of all, I feel like just to catch the people up for what has happened so far, it has been through press conferences with Quinn Hughes and multiple insiders reporting that there's like a 95% chance that he's going to be traded this season. The 5% is just the journalism tax. I want to, put myself in a position to not be completely wrong. However, there's three teams that seem to be heavily in the hunt with a fourth team emerging, and that is the Washington Capitals, the Washington Capitals, the Chicago Blackhawks are emerging. Who am I forgetting?
Anaheim could. I don't know if their name is being attached. I think what you have to do, Justin, is you have to start with the teams that could put those packages together.
Yeah.
And I think San Jose could. Anaheim could. No doubt about it, Chicago could. And the one that Friedman was talking about last night, Elliot Friedman was talking about last night, was Washington. And that one was a little more surprising to me.
That one is surprising.
Just a little more surprising. But if I may for a second, I hate to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy. I saw him play when he was with NTDP.
Yeah.
And I'm serious when I say this. I've said this for many years. In terms of beautiful skaters, he is one of the most beautiful skaters I've ever seen. It is, and yes, I use the word beautiful. It is. If people
Hockey's a beautiful sport.
His mother was a figure skater and a skating coach, and this is a kid that took every lesson to heart. And I go back to that draft, and you have to remember the two big names out of the NTDP that year were Brady Tkachuk and Quinn Hughes. And I told anybody that would listen, I would take either one of them and use them as a cornerstone of my franchise. And this was even before, at that time we were kind of morphing into that's what the league has become, the Quinn Hughes type of defenseman. And, obviously they didn't get a shot at Tkachuk. He went to Ottawa beforehand, but it really does make Zadina look just so much more devastating. And there are a few teams, by the way. The Habs are one.
He didn't fill pucks in the back of the net?
No,
they did not fill nets with pucks.
Coco, I mean, they took Coco, so that was something. But honestly, this kid is all that. For people that haven't had a chance to see him play, he has connections here. A lot of those kids that play at the NTDP, and it was the same thing when the Whalers were playing out of Compuware Arena. Listen, that were their formative years.
Yeah.
And they keep a place around here. Cole Caulfield's back here every year.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the connection that he had to playing in Plymouth for USNTDP. So in that regard, to all the people out there that are saying, and Justin, this is for you, okay?
Yep.
Because you call me Negative Nancy, all right? In that regard, there is 100% justification as to why Quinn Hughes might want to come here.
Absolutely. I mean, why would you not want to go home? Why would you not? And I know that we like to do this, and it's kind of laughed at sometimes, like especially with the modern era of the NHL, because the modern NHL player that's, I don't know, anywhere from 21 to 26 on average doesn't know the Red Wings as this storied franchise and stuff like that. But Quinn Hughes does. He knows what the Red Wings mean. He knows what this team is, and it is definitely a factor, because who wouldn't want to go home? Who wouldn't want to go play for the Red Wings if you're from Michigan? So that is a part of it. Us having one of the best war chests and available capital in the NHL is part of it. Us being right on the cusp of needing that jolt is part of it. And I just think this makes so much sense. And Quinn Hughes is undoubtedly a top 5 defenseman in the NHL. I would do anything it takes to get him to be wearing the winged wheel for a very long time, because him and Mo Seider would give you the best defensive pairing in the league.
And we're seeing some I don't want to say casuals, but people who aren't like lifeblood hockey fans. They're asking for an NFL comparison to Quinn Hughes, and I would say probably a prime like Surtain. Like he is that good. He is the easily top 2 defenseman in the NHL right now, and that's what you're trading for. And when we talk about packages,
it'd be like the Lions trading for Myles Garrett.
Yeah. Like we are talking
or Max Crosby
about
to pair with Aiden Hutchinson.
Yes.
Like that's exactly what it would be.
Maybe not the top of the heap. I mean, because what Myles Garrett is doing right now.
Yeah, I meant Max Crosby.
But no,
yeah.
I agree with what you're saying. I mean, look, this is you're talking about a guy. How many guys right now can you think of right now that you would say I would take that guy over Quinn Hughes? I can think of one name.
One.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cale Makar.
Cale Makar.
That's it.
That's it. Only
Sorry.
one.
And Darren McCarty agrees with me, so that makes it even better.
D-Mac, why don't you come give your thoughts?
We're
live. We're live on.
And hey, listen, you guys, right now, would I take Quinn Hughes over Lane Hudson? Yeah. Right now,
100%.
I think Lane Hudson still has the ceiling, obviously. But right now, today, who would I rather have in my lineup? Oh my gosh, every day.
Yeah.
Every day, Quinn Hughes.
No, I think it's non-negotiable, and my feelings is, and we're talking to the boys about it in the last couple of days, is the fact is you have the tools in the toolbox. No matter which way you want to go, you can offer the most or however it is. I believe that the unfortunate thing is to get good players, you got to lose good players. So as much as I love ASP, it makes sense because he's got to go replace, and over there. And it's you can't compare it to anything but when Hronek left, right? Where Hronek has that ability and who's still out there, isn't he not?
He's playing with Quinn Hughes.
Yeah, so, but Quinn Hughes, the connection, the Michigan connection with what he means, he's a game changer. The only one better, by Cale Makar, but he's in a world of his own.
He's so
Yes,
good.
he really is.
But this dynamically, and I was talking to Spenny about it yesterday, because what it does is I liked your Aiden Hutchinson defensive line, Myles Garrett comparison, but what it does, it also backs off Sider for all the minutes and all the tough minutes that he's got to play. He's got somebody there to help him with. I always preach the water bug defenseman, right? You need that guy. And Quinn Hughes, the one thing I love is that he eats minutes.
Yeah.
He can eat minutes. I mean, I think he's underplayed this year, Sean, at 23 or 24, because he's a 27, 28 guy.
100%. 100.
Small guy, right? Which is a new league that plays big.
I'm so glad that you brought that up because, Darren, I think we're stuck, like the older hockey fans, we're stuck in the old era, okay? Well, how's a guy like that going to stay healthy? The game's changed.
Yeah.
So
It's a new league,
you know
man.
who I see him? I see him like Lidstrom. Because he's smart. He doesn't put himself in that position to get hit. You look at the way he navigates himself around the ice, and yet he's competitive. And I don't think you would think of him as a defensive liability, right? No. He plays in all situations. He logs a lot of minutes. I just don't think he gets that respect because he's a smaller guy. But again, your Canadians got Lane Hudson, who's, like you said, developing. You need guys like this. We were talking yesterday about the other Hughes brother. Luke, like his progression, but he,
Jack's playing good right now too.
Yeah, no, but I mean, it makes sense. We all don't know what goes on behind the scenes either. But I just think that in this situation, you got the most to bring to the table.
That's what makes Steve, I said this morning to Justin, this is what makes Steve such a damn good general manager because you don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know. And I always used to joke, if somebody is talking about the way that Steve is thinking, I'm going to call them a liar. Because Steve, you know better than anybody. Nobody knows.
And
Nobody knows.
Here's the thing. He'll listen, and he hears all of us. And he's
I love you, Stevie.
He's not his head. But he doesn't. But here's the difference. He's like the parent where he doesn't care. Like he's gonna take it all in, and whether he gives a shit or not, he's gonna do what he thinks is the best.
Yeah.
And that may be absolutely not what the rest of us.
But it just makes so much sense.
But it is. So I think, I don't know if you guys are breaking down. I think you're going to lose Casper. I think you're going to lose ASP.
Go on, keep going.
You know, and
he's right.
Woodward Wings boys getting gutted.
He's right.
First rounder. Who else? Maybe that Buchnaya kid in Russia.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna lose.
Plante or Buchnaya. Yeah,
you know, like you're gonna lose some guys, but that's what they're there for.
You got it.
Isn't that why you stock them up, or you've pushed guys to show that this is to put yourself in this condition? Because this right now, they make that deal for Quinn Hughes. You are a playoff team, and now you might be able to, if you can get the secondary scoring and the goaltending that Gibson showed the other night, because Talbot's been consistent. If you get that, you got the back end.
Could I interest the Canucks?
You step, Sean, and that puts you above the Ottawas and challenging above the Montreal, but puts you in the playoff stratosphere.
Could I interest the Canucks in JT Compher?
No. Do you know what? Can I
try.
now? Can I get? And Justin and I had this conversation this morning. Now I'm going to play the role of Patrick Alvin. Okay, I'm the Canucks general manager. You know what I say to you guys? Oh, that's adorable. You're offering me ASP. That's really cute. Hey, I'm a Swede too. You know what? We all think he's going to be a great defenseman, right?
Yes.
I know that Quinn
it.
Hughes is a great defenseman.
And he will be for 10
So
years.
what Mac is saying is 100%. People that think that you're going to do something like, no, he's going to go and let's start taking a look at some of your stockpile picks.
Yeah.
Any general manager with half a brain in their head, I'm going to tell you what I think of this kid. Even if I sat back and I've scouted this kid from my time in Sweden, I've scouted this kid and I think he could be better than Quinn Hughes. Why the bleep would I tell you that?
Not.
Why would I?
It's just what the package is,
right. Yeah. That's
and
what
that
the package.
and
Bam.
Let's hope that's what they're negotiating, not the fact that we have this. This is what's gonna make sense, and what's it gonna make sense for Vancouver.
If they keep Ed Danielson and MBN, I think, and Augustine, obviously,
Yes.
I think it is a grand slam home run.
I agree.
If you keep those four, Simon Evanson, Danielson, Michael Brandzeg-Nygaard, and Trey Augustine, and you get Quinn Hughes, I think that is a grand slam home run.
I would absolutely agree with that.
You haven't, and here's also that you have to prepare yourself for, Sean, and you know this, right? Because there's a 7th round kid that has played himself into a regular day set. That
First line.
is really a caveat that might be one of the ones that he says.
We talked about it in September. We had that
right?
literally.
That could be
Need
the
one.
Emmett. So that the Emmett and people don't want to hear it because
He's from Vancouver too, around the area.
What I'm saying is that is why the 7th rounder that's showed up or whatever can get you this value, would be the closing of this deal.
Yeah.
To get you to a grand slam. But that's so shout out to Drapes. Way to go, Drapes.
Shout out to Drake.
Shout out to Drapes, man. So I will read the actual rumors. I have them here. And they are from Elliot Friedman. The first one is Quinn Hughes. Everybody knows Vancouver's looking for a center. I got to think your best chance of solving this problem is that you have it in the trade, and that's what I look at. And the second one is I do believe that if Vancouver and Detroit wanted to make a deal, I do believe there is a deal to be made there, what he said from the beginning, and they've talked. But we do know that nothing comes out of Steve Yzerman's camp.
Yeah, that's the only.
But it could be leaked from the other side, because why would you not want everyone to know how many suitors there are to breed competition?
You would absolutely leak that if you're Vancouver, because then you're looking at the other teams in the East that would want to take a jump ahead of the Red Wings or to stop the Red Wings from taking that jump so they can stay in their playoff position. They've got good chests too.
I see. Here's the thing, Sean, and I go to you. Where the Wings are at right now, it's not like, the radar of some of the other teams, the Florida, the great teams, because they're not the play. This one you might, and I don't mean sneak by, but it doesn't go off on everybody's radar. I'm just going back to the biggest one. Like that, if it was the Patrick Waugh deal. Yeah. When Waugh says I ain't playing here no more after we pumped him in Montreal at the old Forum, which was beautiful. Shout out.
Small flex.
Is
small.
Is right, because then you knew
it's only small because of the 4 cups.
Guard, but Colorado had what it took
had the package.
to make the deal here. But everybody was holding their breath around the league, going. We were like, where's he gonna go? I think New Jersey.
Yeah.
But I don't think other teams are in the position, because also on the back end, what you have to think about, if they make this deal for Quinn Hughes, Stevie ain't making it without an extension or a long-term deal or whatever else. And does Detroit, and I'm look over here because I think Neil's in the chair I think salary cap, shout out Neil Rule, is the fact that you have the books to be able to sign to make this guy. I said this Benny yesterday. We always thought it'd be the 1C that we're spending it on. No, that's the 1D.
Where's the path, Quinn Hughes? Where's the path?
And you can do it after July 1, because he can't extend his contract until after July 1.
And
that's huge. That's huge. It really is.
But you know that that in that conversation to whatever he's got to be all in to be here.
100%.
Like almost like the DeBrinkets and right when DeBrinket signed or whatever it was, or even Patrick Kane. Like you got to know that this kid's invested to be here, and that when July 1st comes, without tampering all that other stuff, but like he made known that this is where he's going to do it.
Steve is not going to move because he feels there's a necessity to move. Okay, and I brought this example up, and this ties into your Wah example. Okay, Jonathan Drouin walks in and says, "I want out of here. You're not giving me the ice time I want." Everybody in the league's picking at Steve, and Steve goes, "Cool. That you're under contract. You're going to be here." He waited. He found his suitor. It was Montreal. And much like he brought up about Colorado, the thing that Colorado did is they dangled that Quebecois. Oh, here's Jocelyn Thibault. Oh, you want that little French-Canadian player, don't you? Huh? And what did Steve do to Montreal? Local boy, Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. You want him, don't you? And look at the package that he got for that. I mean, he fleeced him.
What was the trade?
It was Sergachev?
Mm-hmm.
It was. I mean, come on,
just stop.
Right? What are we doing? Right? That's
Sergachev stopped.
And Drouin, it never happened, and Steve knew it was never going to happen. And why do you think he wasn't getting the ice time? Because it wasn't going to happen. He's an NHL player, but he was never going to be that guy that we thought him to be.
Team,
right.
That's what Tampa Bay was.
Yeah,
and that's what Quinn Hughes can be. And you look at, like, I saw people's argument for New Jersey is, his two brothers are there. He wants to go play with his brothers. Wouldn't it be cooler to come home at Christmas and say, "Hey, Jack, Luke, I just got a 8-year or a 9-year, $80 million deal with the Red Wings. Why don't you guys come home? Instead of us teaming up in New Jersey, why don't we team up in fucking Detroit?" Like that's a better sell for me personally. So I'm not saying like that's going to open the gates, but those guys are not going to be in New Jersey forever.
The only issue with New Jersey is they're above the cap, and they don't necessarily have the pieces that would be attractive to Vancouver.
No.
Vancouver's not trading for more 28 to 32-year-olds trying to win now. They're going to go for prospects, the 26 and under, most likely, though, 24 and under.
Just put him in there.
It's just a filler. He's just a filler.
Here's the thing. All you got, as a Red Wing fan, all you got to know is that you have what it takes to step to the table.
They do.
So that's it. Like
They
you
do.
more than, and when I tell you more than anybody else, so you don't have to wait.
Yeah.
I don't think that like when you're comparing this to the Lions or whatever, you weren't in that same situation.
I just want that deadpan Xanax eyes dude sitting on my phone.
Exactly, man.
Just
No, this one.
How
Quinn
much
Hughes stares.
you guys you guys know Steve Yzerman, and you guys know that Steve Yzerman does not like to give up the guys that he drafted.
Yep.
Has been developing, has been methodical. I know it hasn't happened as fast as everybody wants, okay? But put that over there. But there's a reason that they do all this. And for the long-standing – oh, by the way, the Tampa Lightning are still very relevant. Are we aware of that?
Yep.
I watched them be very relevant last night.
On the ice.
I watched them be very relevant last night to the tune of 6-1, as a matter of fact. But –
shout out the Preds getting a big double last
but
night.
at the end of the day, does he really want to give up 4 of those pieces? And I challenged Justin earlier. I'm not making you look like a dick.
No,
hope
I
you
know.
that.
No.
But I said, what package has he ever put together where he gave up a lot of his guys? And it doesn't exist. That doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Like I'm not pulling down my pants and shitting on it. But that hasn't been Steve's MO. I know. I'm sorry. I'm a cock block right now. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Everything we do here is in satirical and comedic fashion and not for sexual gratification. We do not promote or condone any of that or harm to others.
And somebody's done it on GTA.
Yeah, GTA 6, don't
Send
sue
to
us.
Roblox.
Yeah, live on Roblox. We're all AI. This isn't real. Quinn Hughes is already here.
Yours isn't real.
Yeah, Quinn Hughes isn't even real. He's a robot.
If the trade does happen, though, okay, do you think it's more likely that the Canucks win the trade by gutting our prospect pool or Stevie fleecing him?
You don't give a shit. You get him, you
get
win the
Quinn
trade.
Hughes.
You get him, you win the trade. You have that much. Down the road is the conversation when somebody that you've traded develops into this great player and go, oh, well, what? How did it work then? That's when the trade plays out because you're talking about young guys who haven't established themselves. We're not talking about getting rid of JT Compher and stuff like this, right? Like we're talking about young guys. So this is a conversation like 3 years down the road with the development right?
I have the known.
Yes.
I have the known.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the known's probably better than what any of the unknowns will be. Justin, you're the biggest ASP slappy here. Will he ever, in his career, be the second best defenseman in the NHL?
The percentages are low.
That's a no. You do it.
Can I use?
I love
You
it.
would be.
It doesn't matter if he is.
Yeah.
You still do it.
Can I use
the
Mo
known.
Sider as an example? Everybody's happy with Mo. I'm happy with Mo.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
but
What, 8?
not that long ago, a lot of people were talking Norris Trophy. He won the Calder. Norris Trophy. Okay, I don't think he's that guy. I don't think he's that guy.
He's playing like it this year so far.
Like he's elevating, but you gotta agree he's like probably 5 to 10.
Yeah,
Right?
for sure.
He's not in that. Yeah, he's not in that. And there's
those
nothing
guys
wrong
are
with
great.
that.
Nothing
There's
wrong
nothing
with
wrong
You
with
win
that.
championships with those guys.
And that's you
Yeah.
add the number 2 guy, and you have 2 top 10
There you go.
defensemen on your first pair.
There you go.
So Nick Lidstrom, like, you know what I mean? You get him 20 years of perfection, and then the kids, as they grow up, they just expect, like, back there. it's-
100%.
Honestly, I watch a defenseman make a mistake in their own zone. I'm like, what the fuck? What is that?
That's me too.
You know what I used to watch every fucking night? I love that guy.
I told you. I know. I told Mac this.
I almost
I
pissed my
had
pants
I had
when I
a
saw him on the road.
conversation many years ago. I asked like 20 different scouts what makes Nick Lidstrom Nick Lidstrom. Almost every single one of them said this. Almost every single one of them.
Cerebral.
Yeah, just he's playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers, and he can do a little bit of everything. And as Mac said, he doesn't have to be that guy that's going to go rough it up with you in the corner. He doesn't have
The
to be that
greatest
guy.
analogy is when we talk about Wayne Gretzky, you use the analogy of what, like, to Nick Lidstrom on defense, right? Where wasn't the greatest skater, but was great at some, but all his, like, was
Yep.
8s and 9s
Yep.
on everything.
Everything.
Right? But like Gretzky, you'd say, well, Lemieux was a better scorer, or this guy, whatever. What was great? But it was cerebral.
Yep.
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 It was cerebral.
Yep.
I almost pissed my pants when I met Nick Lidstrom. I didn't even tell him my name. I was like a little puppy. He was in there. I said, hi. D-Mac said I could say hi to you.
I got a question.
That's a true story.
I walked
He
up
really
to-
did. I
the
was
first
there.
thing I said hi.
D-Mac said I could say hi to you.
Say hi to you.
I love it. Hey, so I got a question for the kids. All right. Tell me, like, if this comes off and Quinn Hughes what will that emotion, like?
I would probably cry, honestly.
I will run. I'll probably just start running around. I don't even know.
It would be absolutely insane. It's
Screaming. I mean,
if Chris
I would be more hyped than I was when Ragnow unretired.
lets Tarek Skubal walk, but allows Steve Yzerman to do what he needs to do to get Quinn Hughes.
Wow.
I'd be okay.
That's a huge statement.
I'd be
That's a
okay.
huge
I'd be
statement.
like,
I'm
if,
gonna pull that out of one of
I
his-
would still,
when he has his meltdown.
I would still be obviously viscerally upset that Tarek Skubal leaves, but Quinn Hughes would soften the blow.
This would definitely soften the blow.
Like,
Because I
don't want to use an analogy, but your pet got run over, and
Yeah.
this was some
pet the dog, kick the dog.
Yeah, well, dude.
A lot of kicking though.
And you know what? I think it would be a good injection into this fan base as well, because this year already has been a good injection. I know if you look at the standings, they're not where you want to be. It's different. because all of a sudden you see a bunch of these kids here and you see them contributing, and you see a 7th-round pick coming in and doing a good job, okay? Now you add a guy. I mean, if you follow hockey, Quinn Hughes. Okay, I don't. What else do I have to say?
If this was
Quinn Hughes.
If this was the NBA, this would have happened so long ago. Like just the marketability of the Red Wings in the NHL and what they bring to the league when they're good.
Yep.
Bringing a hometown kid to bring the most historic American franchise of all time back to the playoffs is a storyline that would sell millions of dollars worth of merch.
Yes.
And
that Quinn Hughes jersey is I will be getting
I would buy one immediately.
Yep,
like
day
if
of.
Bettman really is not a complete idiot, which he is, you would have to push this through. This would be by far the best thing that could happen to the NHL, to get Quinn Hughes out of Vancouver and put him in Detroit to bring the Red Wings back to the playoffs. You fucking kidding me?
I could see. I could almost
shut
see
up, though.
Mac. I could almost see Mac doing like a commercial as like one of those pimp guys on television, right? I could almost see something.
Hey,
like
get him on Sam Bernstein.
It'd be pretty cool if I could see a commercial like that, Mac, of you being a what are those guys called, like selling ShamWow or whatever?
Oh yeah.
Wait to see that.
Like Billy
yeah,
Mays.
you knew what I was getting at.
Billy Mays here
Yeah,
for
like
Quinn
Billy-
Hughes to the Red Wings.
Speaking of that, wait till you see the. I just did one like that. That's probably coming out next week for ABC Vintage, which will be down at LCA doing all their old school stuff. I don't think I got. Oh, I got a grind line one on.
Shout out.
Well, as you know, I know the kid in the video who's rifling through his closet looking for Red Wing gear.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
that kid.
How about that? That's pretty
I
good.
know
That's a
that.
pretty good Pretty good. Come
Is
around.
that kind of
With
funny?
Jackson there? Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
All right, so a lot of people in chat are worried about who would possibly be going in this trade. And
Here, D-Max, sit here. I got to get BD set up.
when you talk about the trade package of possibilities, right?
I think you guys, honestly, hearing Darren talk about it and you talk about it and Spenny talk about it, I think you guys are barking up the right tree. I do.
Yeah.
You could lose Danielson though.
You're
Definitely.
It's not like the. If you're gonna ask me who do I think are the ones that are gonna get held on tightest to, would be, I think, Evanson and a Nygaard.
Yep.
Right, and maybe a Carter Bear. It all depends, but
I told
Definitely
him.
3 you're trying to keep.
I told you.
but I'm just right to the fact that everybody's up pretty much.
Yeah, he could. Their GM could want Edvinson over ASP, and I don't think that will hold up the deal.
Listen, I told you, Mac, what I threw out there, just like literally off the top of my head. I said I would start. I'm Patrick Alvin. I would go ASP, Casper, and Danielson. That literally, that's my opening. Oh, by the way, I want you to know there's going to be some assets that are going to come the other side. We're going to start talking about draft picks too. But you got to come in hard. I mean, there's no doubt about that. And that's the question. These guys that Steve has methodically developed, has drafted, is he going to want to give that up? I don't know the answer to that.
Raymonds.
I'm not going to pretend to know the answer to that.
Definitely feels like not the Raymonds.
No, I don't think like
Cider.
a Raymond or a Cider. Like that's not it. But where do you go from there? Anybody's sort of fair game.
Yep, I agree with
what
that.
you're asking for.
Outside of Larkin, DeBrincat, Raymond, and Cider, no one is off the table. Everyone else
Soderblom could be on there.
easily.
Yeah, Elmer
like
could be.
with-
Yep. That's what you have to think about. I think at least 3 names, and then you start talking about maybe some draft picks. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know if it were me, that's what I'd start with. If I'm and I think I tell people this all the time. It's easy for us to think like Steve Yzerman, okay? Now try to think like Patrick Alvin, all right? This has been a headache for a year.
That's what you always made me do.
Yeah, Jimmy Rutherford was talking about this like a year ago. Like this has been a headache for a year. Of course you want the headache to go away, like Steve wanted the Drew headache to go away. But you can't act.
sacrifice.
You got it. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
And I think that's where they're at right now. I mean, that's my guess. But that would be my initial ask. And you wince. I don't think anybody wants to think about that, but if I'm Patrick Alvin, that's what I'm asking for.
Yeah. Smash that like button. Shout out to I and say that $20 super chat. I'm so close to being a fan. I'm tuning in. I'm paying attention because Detroit's decent. Imagine if they're good. I remember watching the 08 Cup just because the Wings were in it. I'm all in for this guy if it improves the team. 100%. Absolutely, I and say that. He will make you, the playoffs wouldn't even be in question, in my opinion, if you went and got Quinn Hughes.
Not to the fact of no, it's play. You better make.
You better make the playoffs. Yeah,
there's no excuses.
Spenny brought up a really good comparison early. Think about adding the second best at a position of need for the Lions. Yeah. And you're adding the second, in my mind, the second best defenseman in the league. Okay, who? Right? Anybody against that, right? I mean, at face value, until we start talking about the package and all that stuff, which now we're dealing in the unknowns. What I can tell you is, in my humble opinion, and I'm glad that Darren felt the same way, there's Cale Makar, and then there's Quinn Hughes. Yeah. Cool. Right, you're getting so go through all those football comps. Like somebody asked for a football comp. Who's the second best defensive end in the game right now?
Micah Parsons.
Right. Micah Parsons. Okay. Who's the second best running back? We don't need a running back, but you get it.
We just went through the Micah Parsons sweepstakes to whatever.
You saw what he did to Green Bay.
Yep.
It's the same impact.
It's a transcendent player who can transcend you to the next tier of the Eastern Conference. One more super chat, and then we're going to have to let you go. Big D Energy coming at you in 15 minutes. Smash that like button. We appreciate you showing out for the emergency pod. 200 viewers strong. Shout out to you guys. Hockey Nation is going crazy. $4.99 super chat from Matheson Rathburn, 716. Justin, I was late hearing Big D yesterday. Remind Neil we live in America. You can support any team in any sport you want. Go Red Wings. Hey, shout out to you, man.
America!
And shout out, that is what makes America great. One more to ride it out on, Dante151 with a $4.99 super chat. I wouldn't care who goes in the trade for Hughes to be on the Red Wings. Also, would you give up prospect goalie as well with picks to get Hughes? Absolutely. As long as you don't.
If they want Kosa,
you can.
You know,
take him.
You got it. You can. Speaking of which, I'm going to be really intrigued if that opportunity now presents itself when you tie in what's going on here, how well he's playing in Grand Rapids, because I don't know if you guys saw it.
He's on fire.
Fowler got called up yesterday.
Who did?
Fowler. Jacob Fowler. The guy that he and Augustine have been bantied about. Fowler got caught up by the Habs because Montem blows and Dobish has played too much. So they had to speed up the process. They didn't want to do that till next year. But out of necessity, they had to call Jacob Fowler up. Right. And so now with the Red Wings, especially in light of how well Kosa's playing, might you see Kosa this year? I think that's a fun thing to talk about now, okay? He's playing really well. Yeah, all of a sudden, he's looking like the guy people thought he was going to be a couple of years ago.
I think that's why we saw what we saw to John Gibson, because he smells and he sees and he hears Sebastian Kosa doing what he's doing, being a 1-5 goals against, being a 9-4 save per. Like, he is absolutely tearing up GR.
I think it's simpler to the fact of, as the veteran that John Gibson is, wanting to, why he was brought in to be the number one, and just punched himself in the dick and just said, fucking step, let time to go. There's when you're a veteran in the league or whatever like that, it's like, no, it's drop your nuts and let's go. Yeah. And I think he had his. You
went through that. You did late in your career, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No doubt about it.
Drop those nuts.
I don't want to go yet.
Trade for Quinn Hughes.
Yeah.
Thanks for tapping into Woodward Wings. Appreciate Sean and D-Mac for joining the show today. It was awesome having so much hockey knowledge on this show. And we will see you tonight. Post game show. Me and Spenny got you covered. Wings Calgary, and we'll see you later. Peace.